What if I told you that 73% of potential new patients that Google for a chiropractor on either Google or some other search engine, they actually never make it past the first 3 results? That's it, just the first 3. And right now, your Google My Business listing, which I hope you have, is probably costing you untold thousands of dollars in revenue pretty much every week, if not certainly every single month, and a lot over the course of a year. I'm Dr. Chris Tomshack, and over the past 19 years of building HealthSource into the fastest growing chiropractic franchise in America, I have seen practice owners make the same critical mistake. It's actually more common than uncommon. And they treat their Google listing like a digital business card, the old school business card, instead of what it really is, which is honestly, it's your most powerful patient acquisition tool if done correctly. Otherwise, it's lost cause. So today, I'm going to show you the exact 3-step system that helped many of our HealthSource franchisees triple their phone calls in a very short period of time, like 30 days. We'll cover the hidden psychology that triggers patients to choose you over your competitors, and the one-word change that can double your click-through rate. And that's really, really important because it starts at the top with the initial click, and then the click-through goes all the way to the bottom of the funnel, which means an appointment into your office. And I'm also going to share the secret timing strategy that most business owners, most chiropractic clinic owners, they ignore. And they ignore it not because they choose to, because they don't know it exists. So here's what most people don't realize. Now, I've personally helped over 400 HealthSource locations optimize their local presence, their local footprint, if you will. And the ones who follow the system that we teach consistently, they oftentimes see 200, 300%, maybe even higher increase in new patient inquiries within the first month. And that's without placing ads. So before we dive into the first strategy, which might be a good idea to take a couple of notes, let me ask you this. What would an extra 20 or 30 new patients per month do for your practice? And that's kind of a rhetorical question because we both know what it'll do. It'll transform it. Now, the first game changer is what I call emotional anchoring. Emotional anchoring. And that's emotional anchoring in your business description in that Google listing. So most chiropractors write descriptions that sound like they copied them from Palmer or Life or from a medical textbook. Now, here's the problem. Patients don't choose chiropractors based on credentials alone. They don't choose them based upon technique, except in very rare cases. And they don't choose them because they went to a specific college. That is all old school thinking. Why do? They choose based on how you make them feel. So let me tell you about a chiropractor friend of mine, client. A franchise partner, if you will. She was struggling with her Google listing for a long time, for months. Her description read something like, experienced chiropractor, life graduate, providing comprehensive spinal adjustments and therapeutic treatments. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, from a lay perspective. I mean, it sounds professional, right? Wrong. Well, she was getting maybe 5 calls a week. Nothing. That's how you go out of business. So then we applied emotional anchoring, and we rewrote her description to something on the order of, get your life back from chronic pain. Our gentle, personalized approach helps busy professionals like you return to the activities they love without drugs or surgery. I paraphrased on that one, but it's pretty good. Now, same services, completely different emotional connection. Do you feel that? So here's how you can do the same. So first, identify your ideal patient's biggest pain point, literally and figuratively. Are they missing their kids' soccer games because of back pain? Can't sleep through the night? Can't pick up their kids? Can't pick up their grandkids? Well, then second, lead with the outcome. Really important. Lead with the outcome that they really desperately want. That's the real reason they're choosing a chiropractor. Not the process that you provide, not the services you provide. Instead of spinal adjustments, say pain-free mornings, ability to painlessly lift up your kids, etc., etc. And then third, address their deepest fear. Many people are literally terrified of aggressive adjustments because of the very unprofessional marketing they're seeing online with brutal adjustments and towels and straps and all that stuff, sending chiropractic back to the Stone Age. And they also don't want to be pressured into expensive treatment plans. So this one change alone increased chiropractors' calls by about, if memory serves, roughly 180% in 3 weeks. Short period of time. But that's just the beginning. Because your photos, the photos that you place as well in your listings can make or break, honestly, everything. Because let's tie into that. So the second strategy is visual storytelling, and that's through your Google Photos. So most business owners upload generic stock photos or really boring office shots. You standing together with your team, smiling, boring. But your photos need to tell a story that builds trust before patients even call. I mean, think about it like this. Your Google listing is like a movie trailer for your practice. You've got about 3 seconds to capture someone's attention, and you got maybe 30 seconds to convince them you're different and you're the obvious choice, you're the obvious expert. So the average person looks at 6 to 8 photos before making a decision. They look at photos before reading the words or the copy. It's just that important. It's the most important thing. So one of our multi-unit owners, we've got a lot of those in HealthSource, they were struggling with patient trust, which means retention. So people were viewing his listing but not calling. So we saw clicks at the top of the funnel but not going through to the bottom of the funnel. And when I looked at his photos, wow, I immediately saw the problem. Cold clinical shots of empty treatment rooms, pictures, like waiting room. Nobody cares about that. No personality, no warmth, no story, no human touch, if you will, no emotion. So here's how you can transform your photo strategy. First, include behind-the-scenes shots, of you genuinely interacting with patients, real patients, not your staff. Smiling, explaining treatments, showing you actually care, showing you in action. And then second, showcase your modern equipment and clean, up-to-date facilities, but include people using them, not sterile shots. Empty rooms feel cold. And then third, add before and after photos of your space, your team celebrations or community involvement. This builds social proof and shows you're established. And after implementing this visual storytelling approach, the multi-unit owner I was telling you about a moment ago, his phone calls increased by over 240% in just 4 weeks. Patients started mentioning they felt comfortable before even meeting him, which is really what you want. That's what you're striving for, is that emotional bond before you've even talked to them. But here's where most people drop the ball completely. By most people, I'm talking about chiropractors. The third, and not just chiropractors, business owners, period. And so the third breakthrough is response psychology. It's how and when you respond to reviews, to Google reviews and questions posted online. So Google's algorithm currently rewards businesses that engage quickly and thoughtfully. But more importantly, potential patients are watching how you handle problems. So are your existing patients. Now, I learned this lesson the hard way during my early days building HealthSource. We had a franchisee who received a harsh 1-star review from an unhappy patient. And it doesn't matter the reason. There's an unhappy patient, posted a 1-star. So instead of responding professionally like we teach, this chiropractor got defensive, which is it's understandable. It's our first knee-jerk reaction. But then he became argumentative in his public response online. Not only did it hurt his Google ranking almost immediately, but potential patients started choosing competitors who handled criticism more gracefully. So he saw new patients beginning to drop well below where he wanted it from a single Google 1-star review. So here's the 3-step response system that really works. First, respond to every review within 24 hours, 1 day. Positive or negative, respond. Task if you can't get it done, task someone on your team after they're trained. Because Google's algorithm sees this as active engagement with the community, and it boosts your visibility. And then second, for negative reviews, acknowledge the concern. Don't ignore it. Take responsibility where appropriate, and then invite them to discuss it with you privately. Never get defensive publicly, and don't discuss it in ad nauseum publicly. And then third, ask satisfied patients to specifically mention results that they have achieved. Something on the line like, hey, Dr. Tomshack helped me sleep through the night for the first time in years. I'm now able to pick up my children for the first time in a month and a half, et cetera, et cetera. Or even, I can swing my golf club better. So this approach does 2 things. It shows Google that Google's algorithm that you're an active and you're an engaged business owner, and it shows potential patients you handle problems professionally. And one HealthSource owner saw his calls increase 320% after implementing this specific strategy consistently for 60 days. But Google My Business is just the foundation. So if you want to see how successful HealthSource franchisees are generating 50 more, 75 new patients per month using our complete digital marketing system, watch my next video. I'm going to break down the entire patient acquisition funnel that's helping our 3-pack multi-unit owners, even more owner of 4, 5, 6-pack owners, build $1 million plus practices. So thanks for watching. If you found value here, and I hope you did, follow, like, share, and please say something kind. Wish you an amazing day and amazing life. Take care.